Hello everyone, welcome to the Tech Cave. My name is RJ and this is Echo Golf Bravo Oscar, or I always called it EGBO. This is the upgrade scenery from UK 2000, which served me quite well whilst I was doing my PPL, but I fancied an upgrade, so I decided to do a little upgrade myself. So I took it from this and transformed it into this. So I've added a few extra things. I spoke to the guy from UK 2000 and asked him if he was going to do any updates, because the textures were a little bit low res. I mean, they're quite old, and they were probably fitting for the machines at the time. He said no, he's working on other projects, so I decided to upgrade it myself. So he said, yep, go ahead and have a go yourself. So I have. There we go. We're taxiing down. At a fair old rate, to be fair, but just to you will have to excuse my flying during this. I'm just trying to get some of the shots. So I went down the local airfield, took a few shots. There's some guys that were stood outside there. You can see them waiting outside. I think there's a few instructors waiting outside the club. But I went down, took a load of reference shots myself. Then went back home. And I used Google SketchUp. You can use lots of programs, Gmax, 3D Max if you've got it. I've actually got 3D Max because I use it for work. But I found Google SketchUp seems to be the easiest way to make these, and they're pretty simple 3D objects. And the way SketchUp works with adding on textures, it just makes the whole thing a lot easier. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to do a series of videos on my steep learning curve on how I actually achieve this, and it's by no means perfect at the moment. This is my first time I'm going to go at making my own scenery, and it's an ongoing project. So I've been working fairly hard on this for the last 2-3 weeks. Pretty much all my spare time, sort of knocking this up. And I just wanted to get the local airfield all upgraded, but it's one of those monsters that when you start it, you keep sort of, oh, I want to add a bit more and want to add a bit more, and the project just seems to get bigger and bigger. So yeah, there we go. So I've added on lots of extra features. This is now the 64-bit version of P3D, so you can add on loads and loads of extra bits. So I've even wanted to go around and start adding on, because I put photoreal scenery. I'm a VFR flyer. So it's all about having accurate photo imagery. So I wanted to put the local buildings in around as you take off and you land. You use those as reference points, and it's the things that you see when you're low altitude. Once you get away from the airfield and you're above 1,500 or 2,000 feet, everything kind of flattens out anyway, so you don't need to model those as such unless they're really large objects like cooling towers and such alike. So, but local airfield, I wanted to go around and add on all the little farms and buildings around, especially as you come into land or as you take off. So looking at the left window, or if you're an instructor, looking at the right window. Just wanted to add on, just to give it that extra bit of reality as you're going around. So here you go. I've also gone on and added on the trees. So I've gone around the sort of local area and picked out as many as I possibly can. There's still loads to add on there, but where you see sort of trees in the middle of fields, there's a few there that I've not added on. It kind of really stands out. It's like, oh, that's a flat photo. Because there's nothing there. So, but you can see some of the trees there just on the wingtip. There's that was a hand placed trees, and I've hand placed probably about 1,000 trees so far just around the local area. And with the autogen as well, I think I bought a package. It was what's it called? Speed Tree? No, Treescape. That was it, Treescape. Which most of these trees are sort of accurately placed around the UK. Although they tend to miss out any towns, and obviously the single objects they couldn't get them all, and they were doing it on a massive scale. So I've gone around with a bit more precision just around the airstrip to add on there, and gone around and upgraded the perimeter. So there's now sort of wire fencing, even the tires there at the end of the runway. Just generally trying to get an eye for all these little bits of detail that I don't know whether you miss or not, whether you kind of get a bit more obsessive about it when you start looking at it. But wanted to add all these things on all the buildings, so when you're taxiing around you can see the rooftops there. There we go, there's the tower, bit of an upgrade on the tower there. So it's got all the steps modelled out on there. And I'm just going to develop this, so if anybody's interested in it, then send me a message in the comments below, and I'll probably put this into a Dropbox or something like that, and I don't know, maybe make it into like an alpha or beta release or something like that, or a pre-release. I don't know whether it'll ever make it to something like a payware, who knows. I've concentrated on just doing the pretty graphics. I haven't really gone into the AI and where everything goes on the apron yet, and sort of putting all the fuel in and the stations and stuff like that in. So I'm just going to get on with the bulk of the visuals, the pretty stuff to begin with, and then I'll possibly get down into the nitty-gritty stuff later on as it develops more. But I wanted to create this, and then sort of the surrounding areas through this sort of surrounding towns. Going up to maybe Bridge North, or sort of following the river, a few key points, and ultimately making a corridor, a visual flying corridor between this and say some of the other local airfields, maybe flying from here to Welshpool or down to Gloucester, and adding just the odd sort of visual reference point along the way. So as I said, I'm going to do a series of videos on these, on how I created it, and just give some of the resources of where I've found things. So if you found this interesting, give it a like, and if you want to watch the rest of the videos, and subscribe, and they'll pop up when the subscription comes through. So thanks for watching. I'll just leave this running. You can see the hedgerows that I've created there, and the housetops. So as I said, I think I wanted to put the hedgerows in just so you can get a bit more of a 3D view as you're at a lower altitude. So thanks for watching. I'll just leave this running, and see you next time. Bye.